What is up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. This is Jeffy and this is my friend Raj, and we are here to answer all your questions about the BMW G310 GS.
So many of our viewers had a lot of questions about the BMW G310 GS.
Yes, so many of you have been asking about our experiences and also comparing it with the 390 Adventure. So let's start off with the video.
So let's start with the first question. Is it a good tourer?
Of course, there's no doubt about it. This has to be the best tourer bike in this price segment.
So let's talk about being on the highway. The question doesn't end there.
Okay.
Can we keep up with the big bikes on the highway on 110 to 120 kilometers per hour, keeping the tank range of 11 liters and the vibrations?
So 110, 120 is very easy in this bike at about 7,000 to 8,000 RPM. And when it comes to the tank range, we can go up to 350 kilometers at one stretch in full tank. So that's not a problem there. But yes, if it is a mix of city and highway use, you might end up somewhere around 300 to 320 kilometers. Vibration in BS4, it was a huge problem. You will feel a huge amount of vibration while going at around 110 to 120 kilometers. But that has been fixed in the BS6 version. I think there's no problem with the vibration in the newer bike if you're planning to buy the new bike.
And the next question goes as, how terrible and uncomfortable is the gear ratio of the G310 GS compared to the 310R on the slow traffic of Mumbai?
Okay, so we both took the test ride of the GS and R on the same day, and we did not feel any such differences between the gear ratios. But yes, when it comes to a traffic situation, I think the R is on the better side. It's more punchy, and the acceleration is pretty quick compared to that of the GS, and it is also very flickable. So I feel that the R is better for the traffic. If it is a more slow moving traffic, but there's no difference in the gear ratios.
When there's a guy like my height, it's very difficult to drive a...
Correct. If it is, if you are on a shorter side, I definitely feel that it would be very difficult for you to ride the GS when compared to R.
And the question continues.
Yes.
How massive is the suspension advantage of the GS310 and the 310R over the slow traffic and the potholes?
So the biggest difference between both the bikes definitely would be the suspension setup. This is on a softer side, whereas the 310R is on a stiffer side. This can glide through all the potholes and uneven roads without any problem. But whereas the 310R, we both took the test ride of the GS and R on the same day. And you would also agree with me that the fact that 310R, you do feel all the uneven roads and also the potholes. I would still choose the GS over the R if you are riding through city or highway, because the fact that this has more comfortable seating arrangement and also the suspension is amazing.
And this is one of the major questions.
Yeah.
How is your experience? Have you faced any issue with the bike till now?
Yes, I did face an issue once. I had to replace the starter clutch, alternator and the battery. So one fine day I tried to start the bike and it was not starting. This was a known issue as well. BMW knew about it and they could have easily recalled the bikes and fixed it, but I think because of the fact that there's just one service center, 8 service centers across India, I don't think it was possible because there were a lot of buyers for the bike as well during that time. But yes, that's the only issue I faced so far. I have not changed anything other than the starter clutch, alternator, and that is all done under warranty, so no issues with that as well.
Biggest question we have here.
Yes.
Which one to go for? The 310 GS or the KTM 390 Adventure?
I think you can answer this question better than me because I have been the owner of the GS for a longer time, but you are the one who is looking to buy a 390 Adventure and you have taken test ride of both the bikes, so I think you should answer this question to our viewers.
Well, if you ask me that question, I have taken test drive for both the bikes, and comparing to both the bikes, that bike has a lot of features
Yes.
compared to the traction control,
Yep.
off-road ABS, or all sort of thing. This bike has a normal ABS, but when I took a test drive, there was a hell lot of difference.
Yeah.
Coming to suspension, that bike felt like a track bike to me. I didn't feel like an adventure bike.
Correct.
And riding a BMW it was so soft a suspension. It's like glides on the road. And at that moment, and the price difference.
Yeah, now it's about 10 to 20,000 difference.
Yeah.
This is lower in fact compared to 390.
Yeah, the price difference and the quality of the parts, everything.
Yeah.
Though that has a good quality parts, but this bike feels more premium,
Yes.
feels more like stiff on the road. That bike is too stiff on the road, and I felt no, that's not the bike for me. And I think I would go with the BMW.
So there you have it. It's very simple. If you're someone like us who prefers comfort over features and power, then definitely BMW G310 GS is the bike to go for. But if you're someone who is looking for power and feature-loaded bike, then for the same price, you will get a KTM 390 Adventure. So it's your choice. Suraj, we did miss out one important question, which is one of our viewers, his height is 5.7. Is that enough for him to easily ride on this bike?
We both cannot answer that question. You being 6'3",
Yes.
and me being 5'9".
We need someone else to come into this video and help us make that decision. So, Banu, please come in
So
so
we have a
that
friend Banu here, who's 5'8", not 5'7".
somewhere close to 5'7", you can say. So he's gonna show us if he's able to plant both his legs on the ground.
That's right.
So as you guys can see, he's able to plant both his legs comfortably to the ground. So Bans, I have a last and final question to you, and that is, how comfortable are you riding this bike through traffic?
It is very comfortable riding this bike in traffic, so I can easily manage in a heavy traffic. So that's what I can say. It is very comfortable to ride this bike.
All right, so there you have it. Though you are 5.7, I think it'll be very easy for you to ride this bike through traffic. And if even if your height is somewhere about 5.5, you have an option from BMW to reduce the seat height. You can make it 815 mm, and if you are taller, obviously you have another seat height option to make it 850 mm.
Jeff, with the final questions. You've been riding this bike for more than a year now.
Yeah.
Just share some experience.
Alright, so I have ridden this bike for about 10,000 kilometers now, and I have already told you the issue I have faced so far, the alternator, starter clutch and battery, which was replaced by BMW themselves under warranty. So that's the only issue I have faced so far from this bike. So let's start off with the pros of this bike and then we'll move on to cons. Alright, the main thing would definitely be the seating posture of this bike. I can ride easily about 300 to 500 kilometers without having to stop the bike. Also, the seats are super soft and comfortable. And again, I'm tired of telling this, but the suspension of this bike is just amazing. And would be the tires. It's a 60/40 and it's pretty good on road as well as off road. I would say decent off road. It does tend to lose grip off road, but they have definitely chosen the right tire for this bike. There are a few things which does annoy the BMW GS owners, and I'm sure the owners will also agree with me that the tappet sound and chain sound on this bike is just horrible. No matter how much you tighten the chain, it does tend to end up being loose and it does make a lot of noise. Another thing which I don't like about this bike is the fact that it has horrible exhaust note. So the main thing about this bike would be the service. There are about 8 service centers across India, and it wouldn't be easy for you to service this bike, especially if you're traveling somewhere where there's no service center, and if your bike breaks down, it's going to be a big problem for you. Not just that, even the service cost of this bike, I feel, is on a very expensive side compared to that of the other bikes in the segment. There's no free service for this bike. You will have to pay about 6,000 for this first service and about 8 to 9,000 for the second service. But the service interval is about 10,000 kilometers. So that's the only advantage you have when we talk about the service of this bike. Though the service interval is at around 10,000 kilometers, I changed the engine oil personally but about 5,000 kilometers because of the fact that the Transmission was on a stiffer side. It was a little bit hard. So once I changed the engine oil, the gear shifting was much easier, and the engine was pretty smooth. So I've installed many accessories, as you guys can see. I have made 2 videos about it. I'll put the link to it in the I button, or you can also check it out in the description below. So that's it about our experience about the BMW G310 GS. Do you guys have anything to add?
No, that sums it up.
Alright, so that's it. If we have missed out any questions, and if you have any questions, do let us know in the comments down below and we'll answer it directly. And you can also DM me on my Instagram handle and I'll answer the question. So that's it.
That's nothing left to say.
Nothing.
That's
Let's take off.
That's it.
Let's take off.
Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. Do subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more such videos.
Till then,
Until next time.
bye.
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 Bye.